At some point many centuries ago, the thin communion-style wafer took a delicious twist with the creation of the rolled wafer cookie. The exact origin of this tubular treat isn't known, but it has been traced back to Syrian Christian pastry makers during the Middle Ages. Long and elegant, the rolled wafer is one classy cookie. It's crispy on the outside and creamy at the core for a sweet fusion of flavor and texture. It can be served as a garnish for the main dessert or on its own. It is, of course, a matter of taste. Ingredients for the rolled wafer include flour, sugar, cocoa powder, whey powder, milk powder, and dark chocolate. There are 20 ingredients in total. They load each one into a separate bin. The bins all funnel into one of two big mixers 1 floor below. One mixer blends the wafer batter, and the other prepares the creme filling. A central computer controls the flow from the bins to the mixers. It measures and releases the ingredients to follow the recipe exactly. The computer also assigns a lot number to each batch, so if there's a problem with the product, they'll be able to track the source and fix it. Down below in the wafer mixer, the batter is looking pretty smooth. They're aiming for a consistency that's similar to pancake batter. A worker scoops some up to check it. Too runny or too thick, and the wafer won't have the right crunch. The batch is just right. The wafer batter now flows onto 4 metal plates that spread it onto an immense rotating wheel, creating 4 very thin ribbons of batter. Gas flames heat the wheel to 150 degrees Celsius to toast the batter strips. At this high temperature, the toasted pastry has yet to crisp up. It's soft and flexible, which means it's ready to roll. Coming off the wheel, the wafer pastry winds around a revolving mandrel and quickly cools, generating a continuous wafer roll. The chocolate hazelnut creme filling is looking delicious by now, and machinery pumps it through a hole in the wafer-forming mandrel. As the wafer takes shape, the mandrel pumps the creme into it. This mechanized system is faster than hand rolling, and the wafers it generates are more uniform. The long rolled wafer now spins off the mandrel and heads into a tunnel. Inside, a little axe swings down to chop it into wafer-sized pieces. The rolled wafers exit onto a slide and make a gentle landing onto a conveyor. The creme inside the cookie is still fluid, and the pastry itself is still somewhat pliable. The next stage of production will solidify everything. It's a trip through a cooling tunnel. On this stage of the journey, the various components of the rolled wafer crystallize to their final form, and they emerge crispy enough to be handled by the employees. They identify any damaged wafers and discard them as they arrange the cookies for packaging. This means compartmentalizing them in groups on a slotted conveyor. After that, the little stacks of rolled wafers travel through a curtain of plastic. Machinery cuts and heat seals the wrapping in this completely automated packaging system. The plastic will keep the wafers fresh, but it won't protect them from breakage. That's the job of the metal can. After an inkjet-like device prints the freshness code on the bottom, the cans ride a magnetized wheel, which flips them to an upright position. A worker then fills each can with the plastic-encased wafers and puts a lid on the job. Modern manufacturing has revolutionized the making of these rolled wafers. Once individually rolled and baked by hand, machinery now does most of the work, producing more than 100,000 rolled wafers per hour. But of course, the taste is still all about tradition.